Uh, hey man,
How
I
you
just
doing?
feel no, I don't feel that great. I just feel kind of down today.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. You're just having a down day, huh?
Yeah, it's just a shitty day, man.
Uh, well, since we talked last week, hey, how are you sleeping? You getting any sleep?
No, I actually haven't really been sleeping that well. I've been staying up later and
Uh,
just taking on too much and I was doing really good with the sleep, getting 7 hours, but now I'm down to like five and a half, if that. And
uh,
it's not really quality sleep because my mind's still racing at night, like all those things that I was supposed to do, that I had crafted part of my routines, I haven't been doing. So
are you getting any exercise?
no, I've taken on some more clients in the morning, so like that kind of went away,
Are,
which
are
is
you getting
crappy.
good? Are you getting some good nutrition?
I wish like I kind of fell back into the old, like just ordering pizza and just having snacks on hand and
Are you
those
staying
Boston
hydrated?
cream donuts, man.
Are you
Again.
staying hydrated?
I was doing really good at that. And I was drinking a gallon a day for a while, almost a whole year. And like now it's dwindled to where it was like, oh, I'll only have like a half gallon and that's enough. And then it was like wasn't quite a half gallon. And like now like it's back to sodas.
Well, we talked that you were doing that meditation routine that was really helping you out. Are you doing your meditation?
Remember how I was doing like yoga and meditation and stuff? Yeah, like by the time I get home, like I'm just so zonked from the day and not having good sleep. And, like that went away too. Like I just don't have the time to do it. I just end up sitting, watching TV, snacking and eating crap.
Hmm. Well, I know you set a bedtime that you're going to get in bed by 11 o'clock every night. Are you sticking to that schedule?
No, unfortunately not. I haven't been doing good with that either. Like I said, we've been staying up later and later and, just it's like I need that time to just decompress and wind down and, then you eat all this crap and snacks and, donuts and whatnot, and then I can't really fall asleep till like 12, 1. Just feel like shit.
uh, I know that you were journaling, and that was really helping. Help you organize your thoughts. How you doing on your journaling?
I haven't even opened the drawer that I keep the journal in.
Hmm.
Uh,
Tom, the reason that you're feeling crap is just a mystery. I can't even understand. It's like it's a mystery.
I felt good a couple months ago. I don't know why.
Hmm. Do you think maybe it was because you were doing all those things that we've been talking about?
Couldn't be those things. I must need like a technique or something to utilize.
Maybe I'll work on my breathing. Tom, so
Welcome
that's fun.
back.
You know
Welcome back
what?
to the Therapy Unzipped podcast. That was a dramatization of a lot of clients that we serve, and that's the interaction that we have again and again and again. Actually, to answer your first question, I am doing fantastic, and it's because I have all those routines in place. I have all those things, and I drink, I hydrate, I get enough sleep, I stick to the plan, I make sure that I exercise no matter what, even if I don't feel like it, and I journal religiously every single day, whether I want to or not, even if it's just one sentence. And I do yoga, even if it's just for 10 minutes, doing like 5 sun salutations. Just doing all those things, even though there's a freaking election coming up and everybody is just on fire about that, even though there's holidays like Halloween we just had, and now we've got Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that muckety muck coming up. As long as I stick to those routines, I am fantastic. Not that that is all butterflies and rainbows. There's a lot of times when I don't want to do those things and I want to resort back to old behaviors, but I don't. I keep myself disciplined. And, it saddens me when we have these clients come in and we make the intervention, we make the suggestions, hey, get these things dialed in. They're not hard. It's not rocket science. It's not crazy for you to implement these things. If I can implement those things in my busy schedule, then you can too. Absolutely. And so we ask, are you doing those things? Just like we the reenactment. no, I'm not doing those things, but I feel miserable. And he's, well, why do you think you feel
Right.
miserable?
I
It
don't
could
know
be
why
because of those things.
I don't know why, Tom. I feel so miserable. Well, I
Yeah.
know exactly why.
This is why, right?
You know, doing all of those things doesn't make depression disappear. It doesn't make anxiety disappear. It doesn't make your problems go away, but it makes you as resilient as possible so that you can manage the things that go on and come up in your life every day. It
Yeah.
sets you, it gets you in peak performance like an Olympic athlete that you can manage the race. Just because you
Yeah.
do all those things doesn't mean you're going to win every race. Does you know
Right.
what I mean? But it gets you in peak performance so that you can compete and be your best.
Hmm. Look, I have had traumas in the past. I've had struggles with addictions in the past. And, those things are still there. They still come up. I still get triggered from time to time. But because I have these routines in place, I have the schedule, I have these healthy habits in place, I can rely upon those. If nothing else, if I feel overwhelmed, if I feel stressed, I just look at the time and I know, okay, this is the usual time that I have something to eat. Let me go make myself have something to eat. Let me carve out time and space to do that. This is the time that I do yoga. I'm just going to do yoga. Whether I feel like it or not, whether it's a great session or not, even if it's just 10 minutes, I'm just going to do it. And having those things to rely upon gets you out of your head.
Mhm. And that's the whole distraction. That's part of the whole what we teach with anxiety and panic is just getting out of your head and just
Mhm.
going on a predictable routine. It's very comforting. It gets you in the groove. It's like when we go to work, we're in automatic mode, right? We go to work, we do this, we know what our job is, we're clickety clickety, we're doing whatever we have to do. We don't have time to think about all the other crap going on. But it's those moments after work or on the weekends where we let our minds wander because we're not structured and we don't have guardrails for our brain. And the
Yeah.
brain goes where it wants to go.
Hmm. And okay, here's another fun thing you can do. You can play with it. Boy, that's a sound bite right there, huh?
Wait, on Therapy Unzipped, you can play with it?
You can play with it. You can play with those individual pieces and parts in your routine, such as, okay, the exercise, right? All right, if you just get in the habit of doing the exercise whenever, whatever time it is, maybe it's in the morning and you do weightlifting, maybe it's in the evening and you do Pilates or yoga or even take a walk or something. You can start dialing that in to fit you and to fit maybe some of your training goals. If you want to get stronger, now we can develop a program for you to do that, utilizing the tools and elements and certain exercises to help you get stronger. So if you are have the habit of walking in the morning, which is fantastic, it's great, but you notice you're not getting stronger, okay, why don't we throw some weights on, whether it's a weight vest or whether it's just carrying around 2, 3 pound dumbbells, or, they make the ankle or wrist weights or something, or maybe just throwing in a backpack on with a dumbbell in it or something, or a little weight plate. Like dialing it in to fit your goals can be really helpful. So you can play with those elements. Maybe it's with the sleep. Maybe you notice that if I have some essential oils going in a diffuser, and if I have, the temperature a certain way, and I make sure that I have an extra pillow so I can have that cold side, to flip over. Maybe a sleep mask or something. You can play around with those things to see what works out really well. You know what? You don't even realize it. Maybe we call it the aliens in the room. It's those little LEDs that are on all the devices and whatnot, like the little one on the TV or the one on the alarm clock or the one on the router or something. Cover those things up and make it a little bit darker in the room, or maybe those shades that are like blackout curtains, see if that helps and changes your sleep ability. Maybe come up with a schedule where you take, in 12 to 24 ounces of water per hour and see how that works. They make these jugs that, have the time slots on it. I have to drink this amount by 10 a.m. and I have to drink this amount by 12 p.m. And, play around with those things and focusing on those things to get your five things dialed in, those five things that we talk about: sleep, nutrition, exercise, water intake, sticking to a daily schedule. And that eats up a lot of bandwidth that would normally be eaten up by perseverating over what's going to happen, or worrying, or being traumatized and being re-triggered. You can play around with those elements. And so this is what we do in our sessions, is trying to help somebody get all those things dialed in. Then we can build from there. Then the techniques that we share, then the interventions like EMDR, cognitive behavioral therapy, just general psychotherapy, hypnosis, all those things really can take effect if you have these things dialed in first.
Right. You got to get your body and mind primed to be ready to accept all of these good things that happen.
Yeah.
We hear so many times, well, I have no motivation to do it. Well, let's talk about motivation. What is it? It doesn't exist. There's like nothing out there. Motivation is the accomplishment of a goal. Like, I'm motivated because I want to lose weight, right? I
Yeah.
see the end goal. I can see myself standing in the mirror. That's what my motivation is. Well, there is no like boost of energy that's gonna. It's
No.
not gonna get you out of bed to get you to go exercise and eat right to lose some weight.
And
Motivation
that
is
only lasts 30 seconds, really.
yeah. There is no this thing called motivation. You just do it. Get
Yeah.
up and do it. You
Yeah.
don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go for a walk. I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to. It takes time for me to make a spinach omelet as opposed to a donut, right? I got to
Right.
spend time. I got to wash dishes. It's that I don't want to eat healthy, but it takes time and energy. But I like, the outcome of it.
That little skit that we just did, and we're not actors, so we did the best we could with it. But that little skit, I mean, that highlights the fact that so many people are trying to make things so complex in their lives, and then they come up with excuses because you've made it so complex when it's really not complex. It's very, very simple. And in that, even though it might not be easy to implement it, once you do and once you stick to it, it becomes easy. This is just the thing you do every day at this
Which is why
time.
it's funny. There's so many people that make millions and billions of dollars selling you the easy way, right? Oh, just take this pill, you lose some weight. Go to my channel and listen to my tapes or subscribe to my channel, and
Right.
you'll be successful. You could drive a Lamborghini too, right? We're gonna
Pay me
boost your
$300
sales,
per month and I'll teach you how to do it.
right? They're trying to give you the easy way. There is no easy way. You just got to do it, right?
Yeah.
They just have to get up and move.
Yeah. And like you said, the motivation really doesn't exist. It only comes in short bursts if it does. What really inspires you and continues along that path is seeing the positive results and the changes that accumulate over time of you engaging in these healthy habits.
Hmm.
That's what gets you going. That's what keeps you doing it, because you start to see, hey, I see some muscle definition. Hey, my pants fit a little bit better. Hey, I'm sleeping better. Hey, I feel like I have more energy throughout the day. People are complimenting me. These things feel good. And you just continue to stick to it. And if you fall off for a week, or you take a vacation, or you get super stressed and you stop doing those things and you start feeling shitty, like, I did at the very beginning in that play we did, then you just get back on and you don't beat yourself up. Then you get back to doing those things that are going to work, that we have seen and implemented in our lives, that work, that we've helped other people implement those things in their lives, and they have seen positive results from
Hmm.
those things. So
For sure. It always cracks me up. Oh, I'll start Monday. I'm like, what's so magic about
yeah.
Monday? Why
Yeah.
is Monday magic?
Yeah.
Because it gives you an excuse to eat and drink and do whatever you want all weekend. Well, okay.
Right. How many people feel really good on Monday? Most people feel horrible on Monday.
So let's just add that, right?
What?
I'm tired.
Right?
I have to get up early. Oh, and now I can't eat any garbage. Oh, and now I have to exercise. And oh,
Yeah.
now,
Right. And then you don't do it.
right, because it's a hassle. So
Yeah.
practice those things on the weekend when you have a little extra time or on your days off.
When you do feel relatively good,
Yeah, for sure.
And please
No, and
keep in
I
mind.
stick to it. I generally, for the most part, stick to a pretty good nutritional plan, right? And then, I have those moments. Of course, I'll eat a pizza, and go out for tacos, get a
Yeah.
margarita, do all that kind of stuff, and it tastes good at the moment, and then after I'm done, I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
poop. It's I feel so much better when I eat clean.
Yep. It was
And every
Halloween last
time,
night.
every time I'm like, why did I do that? I mean, it was
Yeah.
okay for, the 20 minutes I was eating, and now it's just going to be like 2 hours of like, ugh, my stomach hurts and I'm full.
Right.
I feel like crap.
I eat because I'm unhappy and I'm unhappy because I eat.
Yeah.
It was Halloween last night. And so, I had pieces of candy because that's what you do. And you know what? Even though it
Because you're
wasn't
a
a whole
red-blooded
lot,
American, Tom, you have to do that.
I have to have, I feel like I have to. And I didn't feel as great this morning, you know,
Yeah,
after
sure.
having that. Just felt like I still did the workout, and it was great, and but the beginning of it, getting into it, I didn't feel as recharged. I felt that that sugar crash type of feeling, just didn't feel as well as I would have liked to. And it's as a direct result to having that the handfuls of candy last night.
Well, I was handing out, I think, I know we had way too much candy for how many kids were showing up for trick or treat.
Yeah.
So they were showing up, and I was grabbing handfuls of candy and stick it in their bag. Like, please take this.
Please take it away. They make those bags bigger and bigger every year.
Ugh, yeah.
It's like $35 for a jumbo 1,000 piece sack. And then interestingly enough, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the candy gets smaller and smaller.
Oh, yeah. It was like a little tiny Snickers thing, a little one, and I was like,
Right.
"What is that?"
Right?
It's not even a half a bite. Whatever.
No, So you got to open up and then you've got wrappers everywhere that the dogs get and run around with.
I saw your dogs dressed as penguins.
You did. Yeah. I'm surprised we actually got them into those suits. And I was trying to get the camera at the right angle to because you got to capture them like real down low where they're running at you and they just were not complying. But they're dogs. They're like, "What the hell are you doing to us? Just give us treats, man. Just give us love. That's all we want."
I saw a dog at, oh, we were off topic, but I saw a dog at one of a dog parade, costume parade, and it was a three-legged dog, and it had an IHOP banner on it. Like, it was an IHOP restaurant.
That's awesome. Some people can be really creative with that.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that these things we're talking about, getting into these healthy habits and routines, it's going to take time. Don't expect that after a week of doing these things that you're going to see results. I mean, you can be proud of yourself for engaging in those healthy habits for that week, for sure, but it's going to take some time to show. But before you know it, seriously, I've seen this happen. It's like 2 months go by and you look back at yourself and who you were 2 months ago after starting these routines, and you're like, wow, I can't even believe I feel trimmer. I feel happier with myself. I feel more confidence. I do feel like I can take on anything. I do feel like I can take on other challenges. I do feel more resilient. So it takes time.
And don't wait for this magical thing called motivation to hit you because it's not coming. So
No,
just get up and do it. And you don't want to, but get your schedule down, figure out what you're going to do. You don't have to go overboard. Just start slow and work your way up. So,
yeah,
if you haven't gone out and walked and done a lot of exercise for a while, don't try to go walk for 5 miles. That's just
yeah.
you're just going to get yourself hurt and it's going to delay you even further. So get out and walk around the block. Get out and
Hmm.
walk for 10 minutes, and then walk for 10 minutes for a week, and next week walk 15 minutes.
Now let's focus on something a little bit different, but still in line. That reenactment that we did to capture how some clients are, that's a small percentage.
Yeah.
Like we're kind of trained and programmed to focus on what needs to be dealt with or fixed or problems that we need to solve. But I think it's good for us as therapists to recognize that there are so many of our clients that do get these things dialed in and they do start seeing positive changes. So we're not talking about across the board, everybody that comes into the office having these problems. It's a very small percentage, like 5 to 10%. We end up focusing on that because we want to try to intervene and help even more because we're, problem solvers, we're
Mhm.
helpers. But there are so many that start to make these positive changes, just those simple changes, and they're a totally different person after 3 months, 6 months, after a year. They get to the point where they don't necessarily need the therapy as much, or maybe it's like once a year that they come in just to kind of get things dialed in, just because it feels good to talk through things, just as an affirmation that they're
Mhm.
doing the right things and they're doing well. So most of the time, 90 to 95% of the time, that's what happens when people come in to see us, is that we help them along the way and they get things dialed in, they make positive changes. That's so incredibly wonderful to be a part of that. So we're just talking about those who haven't got those things dialed in and who don't utilize the techniques or the coping strategies, and then they see that things are not changing, and that's who we're talking about today. But most of the people, they get their shit straight, man, and it's awesome.
You're absolutely right. And, it's amazing how one small change will lead to another small change, will lead to another small change, and it turns into this domino or ripple effect.
Yeah,
So don't underestimate. It's like, what good is 10 minutes of walking going to do? You are going to be amazed at how much good 10
yeah.
minutes of walking a day is going to do. Because
Do it
it's
every
like,
day. See what happens after a
just
month.
I dare you, I double dog dare you. Walk
Yeah.
10 minutes a day and see how what kind of changes that happens. Because you know what? You get a little more energy. Like, hey, this is all right. I only spend 10 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'll cut out my evening ice cream. I'm just gonna try that. We'll see how that happens.
Yep.
I only
Yeah.
have ice cream on Saturday. See, little tiny change. See what happens there.
Yeah. This is what happens when people start doing those things. They do the 10 minutes of meditation or of walking or making some healthy choices regarding food. And like you said, the domino effect, the snowball effect, they start to ramp that up. They play with it a little bit more.
Hmm.
It's no longer just 10 minutes. By the end of the month, they're doing 45-minute walks.
Hmm.
They're like, I got my clothes on, I got my sneakers on, I went out to do a walk, and it felt good. And before I knew it, I was walking around the neighborhood. I was charting out different courses. I was logging it in on my watch or on my phone or on my Fitbit or whatnot. And I want to do that trek, that 3 mile trek even faster this time. Let's see if I can get it down to a shorter time period. Let me see if I can do 5 miles, and see how long that takes. And then let me see if I can dial that in and get that down faster. Let me go at different times of the day. Let me walk twice a day. Like this is what happens. And this is beautiful to see.
Cool.
You're going to get excited about it. You're going to start feeling really good about yourself.
For sure.
Yeah,
So just get up and do it, Tom.
please just do it.
All right.
Thank you so much for today. You guys, please, if this is helpful, if you want us to talk about something else that you'd really be interested in hearing our our banter about, please send in your comments or questions to questions at therapyonzip.com. We're here for you guys. And so we want to create a community. We also have that Top Sand community that, is just up and coming. It's just really getting going. And so we are here to be helpful, to be of support to people out there. We want to change, the our communities, and we want to change our nation, and we'll do that one or two people at a time. So please feel free to reach out to us. We are here for you.
Absolutely. And don't forget, you got to vote. Go out and whoever you want to vote for, it doesn't matter. You got to vote. So get out and vote.
Your voice matters. You matter.
Absolutely. Tom, great to see you on this Friday.
Same, man. Great to
We
see
may
you
have
too.
some interesting topics next week. It'll be post-election.
Oh, yes, for sure. Mhm. All right, we'll get into it then. You guys have a fantastic rest of the day. See you
Yeah,
soon.
you as well. Happy Friday.